You've probably watched The Walking Dead and other zombie movies and thought, this is just a sci-fi movie out of someone's imagination, or maybe something you'd see at a Halloween event where people act like zombies. It probably never occurred to you that this might feel real one day. Lately, scenes in parts of some US cities like Kensington and Philadelphia, the Tenderloin in San Francisco, and areas of Portland, Seattle, and Los Angeles look strangely similar. People slumped over, barely moving, emergency sirens all day. Today we're talking about a real-life outbreak, fueled by fentanyl and other dangerous drugs, that makes people look frozen or zombie-like because their bodies and breathing slow down. We'll break down what's really happening, who is at the highest risk, why overdoses happen so easily, and what we can all do to stop it. So in this video, we'll cover how fentanyl use spread so fast in the US, who is most vulnerable, the real dangers people don't see, how to protect yourself and others. Stick around to the end as I'll be sharing practical tools and free resources you can use today for yourself, your family, or your community. This video is about facts, compassion, and solutions, not fear. So let's get started. In 2024, US overdose deaths fell by almost 27% compared with 2023. Real progress after years of increases, but we still lost tens of thousands of people, so the crisis isn't over. Fentanyl and other illicit synthetic opioids remain the primary driver of overdose deaths in the US, even as numbers improve. Data show the epidemic shifted from prescription pills to fentanyl over the last decade, and fentanyl continues to dominate. The supply is massive. In 2024 alone, the Drug Enforcement Administration seized over 60 million fake pills made with fentanyl, plus nearly 8,000 pounds of powder, enough for hundreds of millions of potentially lethal doses when you remember that about 2 milligrams can kill. DEA lab testing also shows how uneven and dangerous these fake pills are. In recent analyses, about 6 in 10 fentanyl-laced fake pills contained a potentially lethal dose. That unpredictability is precisely why people overdose so easily. So, what exactly is fentanyl? Fentanyl is a lab-made painkiller. It's extremely strong, much more potent than morphine. To put that into perspective, fentanyl is about 50 to 100 times stronger than morphine. You can imagine how tiny doses can affect the body. A minimal amount can slow breathing and knock someone out. About 2 milligrams, a few grains of salt, can be deadly. That's why the same-looking pills can have totally different strengths, and one bad pill can kill. Street drugs are often contaminated with fentanyl because it's cheap and powerful. Many pills sold as Oxy, Perks, or even Xanax are fake and may be laced with fentanyl. People may be taking it without knowing because many other drugs are being cut with fentanyl. Here's how fentanyl actually works. Fentanyl locks onto the brain's opioid receptors and, at first, can make a person feel warm, calm, and pain-free. Some describe a wave of relief, heavy, relaxed limbs, and a brief rush or dreamy euphoria. But the same process also slows the body down. Thinking and reflexes get sluggish, pupils shrink to pinpoints, the mouth gets dry, nausea or vomiting can hit, skin can feel itchy, and constipation is common. Most dangerously, breathing slows and can even stop, especially when doses are high, when it's taken with alcohol or sedatives, or after a period of not using. People may nod off, become confused, or turn pale and blue around the lips. With ongoing use, tolerance and dependence build, mood and memory suffer, sleep and hormones can get disrupted, and stopping suddenly can trigger withdrawal, cravings, body aches, sweating, diarrhea, and anxiety. In short, the quick comfort comes with serious, often hidden costs to the brain, lungs, and whole body. Fentanyl causes heavy sedation and slows breathing. It's increasingly found mixed with other substances, including Xylazine, a veterinary sedative. That mix can make people stand or sit in unusual positions, barely moving. It looks scary, but it's really a medical crisis, not a movie scene. Why is fentanyl spreading so fast? Fentanyl moves quickly through communities because it's made in labs, very strong in tiny amounts, and simple to ship. Dealers press it into fake pills that look like real meds or blend it into powders, so people often don't know they're taking it. Health and law enforcement labs keep finding that these fake pills can carry a deadly dose, which is why a single pill from a friend or from the internet can be life-threatening. The most significant hidden danger is how unpredictable the street supply is. A pill or powder can look normal, yet be something else entirely. And the potency can vary significantly from one batch to the next, so a tiny change in what you take can suddenly slow your breathing. The danger grows when substances are combined. People may not realize that alcohol, sleep meds, or anxiety pills stack on top of fentanyl and push breathing even lower, and stimulants can hide warning signs until it's too late. Beyond pills, the drug supply has shifted toward combinations. Fentanyl is frequently found with stimulants or with xylazine, a veterinary sedative often mixed with fentanyl. Naloxone should still be given right away because it helps with the opioid part, but xylazine itself doesn't respond to it, so people can stay very sedated and still need emergency care. Another rising issue is how people use has changed. Smoking feels cleaner than injecting, but it hits fast, can fool people into taking more, and can draw in folks who don't have opioid tolerance. So the exact amount that seemed fine for a friend can be too much for you. Here's another problem that arises later down the line. After time away, jail, rehab, hospital, or even a short break, your body's safety buffer shrinks, and a dose that felt familiar before can overwhelm you now. There's also fear about accidental skin contact. Brief touch in everyday situations is not the same as actual exposure, and panicky feelings aren't proof of poisoning. What harms people is breathing in, swallowing, or injecting enough of a drug. Put it all together. Extreme strength, hidden combinations in the supply, fast delivery by smoking, and shaky tolerance, and overdoses become frighteningly easy. How people use drugs is also changing. Smoking fentanyl has grown in many places and has been linked with a higher risk of overdose, especially when people switch from other medications and don't have an opioid tolerance. Another driver is the internet. Illegal online pharmacies and social channels make it easy to buy pills that look real, but aren't. People are urged to avoid unverified sellers and to use official tools to check whether an online pharmacy is legitimate. We'll discuss next who is most vulnerable. 1. Young people who experiment with a pill from a friend or off social media are at real risk because counterfeit pills often contain fentanyl. Investigations into teen overdose deaths have found signs that fake pills are a common factor, and many families say the person had no idea fentanyl was inside. 2. People leaving jail, prison, or rehab also face a dangerous window. Their tolerance is lower, the supply is unpredictable, and a dose they handled before can suddenly stop their breathing. 3. People experiencing homelessness carry a heavy risk because they face unstable housing, stress, trauma, and less access to consistent care. Medical examiners in big cities report fentanyl in most drug deaths among this group. The crisis also hits some communities harder than others. National surveillance shows exceptionally high overdose rates in American Indian and Alaska Native communities, and long-standing racial gaps mean Black communities have borne a growing share of harm as fentanyl spread. These patterns reflect unequal access to prevention, treatment, and social services. If you've struggled with drugs, it can be hard to get away from them, so here are some practical ways to lower risk. Keep in mind that the best solution is to cut off illegal drugs. This is not to be considered as advice to use drugs by any means. Don't use alone. Avoid alcohol or sedatives when using. Carry and learn to use naloxone. Talk with friends about what to do if someone's breathing slows. Call for help, give naloxone, do rescue breathing, roll them on their side. Treat every pill or powder you didn't get from a verified source as potentially stronger than you think. Let's talk solutions in plain language. What works best is a mix of fast help and long-term support. Make naloxone easy to get and simple to use, so bystanders can jump in. Teach people the signs of slowed breathing and what to do, and normalize quick, calm action rather than panic. Help people check what they're taking with test strips where that's allowed, and push for easy, judgment-free access to real treatment. Medicines like buprenorphine or methadone paired with counseling, peer support, and simple clinic rules so people aren't scared away. After jail, rehab, or a hospital stay, close the gap with warm handoffs, immediate appointments, and a naloxone kit because tolerance is low and the first days are risky. Big picture, stable housing, mental health care, and steady work or school all reduce the pull of street drugs, and community outreach, mobile teams, drop-in centers, trusted peer workers keeps people connected. Also, you might want to reconsider your friendship status with some people. Not everyone is your friend and wishes you the best. Some relationships are so toxic that you need to deal with them, and it may be the reason why someone deals drugs in the first place, to get away from the harsh reality they live in. For parents and schools, start early. Talk about counterfeit pills and why a pill from a friend or the internet is never just a pill. Teach stress and sleep skills, lock up and safely dispose of leftover meds, and make it normal to ask for help. For everyone watching, everyday habits save lives. Don't use alone, avoid mixing with alcohol or sedatives, carry naloxone and learn rescue breathing, and treat any pill or powder you didn't get from a verified prescriber as dangerous. If you're supporting someone who's using, Lead with respect, offer rides to appointments, celebrate small wins, and keep the door open. Connection and consistent, science-based care are what turn this around. The way forward is simple and human. Learn the signs of trouble, act fast and calm if someone's in danger, keep honest conversations going at home and in your community, and choose help over shame. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe, like, and share it with someone you care about so more people hear this message. Drop a comment with your thoughts or questions. Stay safe, stay informed, and stay clean.